Hi everyone, my name is Lori Meadows, and this is my internship report. I wanted to start with an outline just so you kind of know what's going to happen for the next few minutes. I'm going to go over how to find an internship, what are the expected responsibilities of that said internship, what added value to the site personally from me, and what I felt was of value and how the coursework and everything that I learned at BYUI helped me to perform duties and go above and beyond in my time on the site. So, how I found Lane ESD. Lane ESD is, um, they cover all kinds of school districts, and I found it just by asking my supervisor where I was currently working. And I think that's something that's really important. There's a lot of time when people are nervous about losing money and time when it comes to internships. And I think if you're already working, if you're in that space, just ask your supervisor if there's any way that they can accommodate an internship for you. And Lane ESD had never hosted an intern before from BYUI, let alone any of its affiliates. So they were kind of excited. They were nervous. They weren't really sure, but they were very happy to help because of my tenure there. And at the end of the day, if anyone says no to you, you're right back where you started. No harm, no foul. So I think it's really important to just ask. Always ask. The responsibilities in the classroom where most of my work is. If you don't know what life skills is, it's usually a group of students who have some kind of disability, especially if it's intellectual. You know, those things in life that you just can't see. So we definitely don't want to judge a book by its cover. These kids get judged all the time, and they are subjected to abuses and crises all the time. So it's really important to understand that with a family major, I knew that I would be helping families and especially youth get through those hard times and find ways to advocate for themselves. So in the classroom, that's where I spent half of the time, 50 to 60%, paperwork. My family thinks I'm joking when I say only 25%. I wish that the wheel could be 200% instead of 100. To be honest, there was so much paperwork and I just can't do it justice with 100%. But a lot of it was learning to support administration. IEPs are just individual education plans for kids that have those disabilities. They need to go to school a little bit different. It looks different for them. So I help with those, emailing parents and staff, and tons of documentation. We love data and life skills, and any school district really. We love to collect it, we love to utilize it. So there's going to be a lot of paperwork. And had the opportunity to present and train. And that comes from a lot of the learning model that BYUI has. You know, you have to teach one another. And because we've been practicing that, you know, I'm a senior, this is 4 years of practicing teaching one another. I was able to do something super simple of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you know, that little pyramid. And that's something that a lot of people have never heard of or been subjected to. So that was something that I was able to give and share with staff that are going to be working with students who aren't getting their needs met all the time and understanding crisis cycles and all of that. So it was really cool. And then some of the time I got to do some morning sessions if the main teacher was gone or needed me to sub for a little bit. So that was really nice. Again, I wish it was a 200% wheel instead of 100. These are some of the benefits that I was able to bring to the site. I worked in a middle school and we serve Lane County, so sometimes I worked in high schools and young adult programs, but I really like middle school. I'm kind of one of those weird, crazy people who love it. The skills that I acquired from BYUI gave me the opportunity to just be more understanding and nurturing to anyone, regardless of what their background was or what their future goals were. And so that was really welcomed by everyone I was interacting with. It was really important to have those skills before starting. And I really recommend doing your internship when you are a senior because you're going to gain more experience working in those kind of backgrounds, especially in family, community relations. Another thing is flexibility. I cannot stress this enough. Staying flexible to the changes of your environment, the people, the temperaments. Just think of that like a cycle that a newborn baby would go through. If they're crying, there's probably a reason. And it's the same with anyone, regardless of their age. Their behaviors are trying to tell you something, and it's a form of communication. So make sure you're flexible to that and in tune with it. And that was something that was a massive value to the classroom and to any internship. Learning from those I serve is an important step in any internship. I cannot, I'm so grateful for the gospel because it truly tells you that when you're serving someone and you're learning from those that you serve, you're viewing them as whole people. You're trusting the process. And I think that's really important and really beautiful. My coursework in psychology allowed me opportunities, like I said, to train newer staff in the SPED world. Not everyone knows about special education, and I'm still learning a lot about it. But the foundational parts was really something that I brought to the table, and it was a huge benefit for the classroom and the staff there. Here are the courses that I found really important to be working with families. Um, Family 430, it is a senior level class. You can definitely take it your junior year, but I loved it. It gives you this macro ecological model like Bronfenbrenner, where you get to see not only the spiritual, but the secular. It truly just brings everything all together. It's very well rounded. And those perspectives are just, they're priceless. And they really help you meet people where they're at, just like Christ did. Communications, it is a public speaking class, and I know not everyone loves public speaking, but what was really cool about this class is it integrates a lot of the psychological perspective about communication. And it really helps you break down what information is being shared to you, how you can be a critical thinker and a consumer of that information given to you. And likewise, it teaches you the ethics behind how you speak to another person. Like I said previously, I wish that wheel was 200%. I want to be realistic. This internship was really difficult, and it was more of like an emotional taxing than a physical labor. And so, having that ethic background and understanding how to research what people are saying to you and not just take it for face value. It's really important. So I would definitely recommend that class. Anyone can take it, even a freshman. And Business 374 was a social innovation class, which is totally just opened my mind to so many possibilities and understanding the wicked problems in this world that were caused by people can also be solved by people. And it teaches that empathy at its core to just go and talk with people wherever they are, wherever they live, whatever their culture is, and just figure out what it is they need, what it is they want. So, how did I benefit personally from my experience? Look at this. There's so many amazing, beautiful relationships that we cultivated during my time at my internship with Lane ESD. And these kids, I did get permission to use their photos. These kids are beautiful, amazing human beings, and they all have their own setbacks. The the experience that they live is to survive. They're not thriving yet. And it just brings it back to what are we doing here? A lot of family classes and coursework is social work. And if you're in that line of thought and want to help the community around you and the world, it starts one person at a time, one life at a time. So not only am I grateful for these students, I'm really grateful for the staff that I was able to work with and have really long lasting relationships because of how closely we work together. It's like another family, truly. How would I how would I grade this experience? 5 out of 5 for sure. Good, the bad, and the ugly. That's everything. You have to take everything in. And it was a good experience. I loved my middle school that I worked at. The organization itself, Laney SD, has a beautiful mission and a beautiful purpose, but it was really hard to get a supervisor. I kept getting shuffled around from contact to contact. Again, this was the first time I worked with BYUI, and so there was just a lot of miscommunication and disorganization. So I would not recommend it if you are not a flexible person. If you want to know what's expected and go along with the a plan, this is not for you. But if you are a trailblazer and a pioneer, hold down to your core, then go for it. I think it's great. These are some of the contacts. Now, normally you would never put a superintendent's information, but Tony he is in the trenches with people and he loves seeing fresh faces and new ideas, especially when it comes to equity. So definitely get in contact with Tony if you have any questions about it. And if you want to actually do it, Sue Matheson is the point person. She was my main person that I talked with. Again, I got shuffled around a lot, but Tony can figure out a way to manage it a little bit better. So those are my contacts for you. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that whatever internship you decide to do, just do it from your heart, do it with a passion, and understand that you are amazing and they need what you have. Thank you so much.